Welcome to Carrie Bros Pros, the podcast for construction pros by construction pros, because good information is always the best tool in the bag. Now, here are James and Morris Carey.
So good to have you with us for another episode of Carrie Bros Pros. I'm James.
And I'm Morris. As professionals, we're always looking to give our pro listeners great information to help them work smarter and harder. On this edition of Carrie Bros Pros, we're going to find out how HomeAdvisor works. Yeah.
And our guest is Craig Smith. He is the president and COO, that's Chief Operating Officer of Angie Home Services. It is HomeAdvisor. And in his role, he oversees operations, including those of HomeAdvisor U.S. sales force. And prior to assuming his role in September of 2017, Mr. Smith served in the same role for HomeAdvisor from July 2000. And we understand that prior to joining HomeAdvisor, Craig Smith worked as an investment analyst for the L. Palmer Foundation. I don't know whether I said that right, but he can correct me, from June of 1997 to July of 2000. And he serves on the board of the Children's Hospital Colorado Corporate Leadership Council, the Board of Advisors for the National Cybersecurity Center, the Board of Directors of the Beanstalk Foundation, the Board of A+ Denver, and now Carrie Bros Pros. That's a mouthful.
Welcome to Carrie Bros Pros, Craig.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
And all of that, and you're only 27.
Yeah. Well, that's what I started 19 years ago. It's been a long time, a long journey with HomeAdvisor, but it's been great.
Okay, I'm dying to know, what does HomeAdvisor do for homeowners and professionals?
Yeah, it's a marketplace for homeowners to find screen and approved service professionals, find somebody who's available to do the work that we've done a background check on, and we provide ratings and reviews to the homeowner so they can make that hiring decision with confidence. It also helps pros grow their business very cost effectively by targeting homeowner matches in the areas and in the categories that they like to do business. So it's a very efficient, effective marketing tool for our service professionals.
We know that word of mouth is actually, you want to know the truth, word of mouth has never been good for anyone who wants their business to grow. But now it's pretty much definitely dead with the internet and all the social networking that's going on coast to coast, border to border. Tell us a little bit about how Angie's List and all of these online services have changed the way we do things.
Yeah, you're seeing more and more homeowners turn to digital mediums to find a reliable pro. And the thing they really like about that experience is there is trust through the screening and ratings that we do. And then the convenience is a significant factor influencing their behaviors. You think about what Uber and OpenTable and others have done, and that has kind of shifted homeowners' mentality in a way that they want to find somebody who's available at a time that's convenient for them, that can do the work, is licensed and has a good background and track record doing that work effectively, and they can schedule and book on demand. And more of the industry is moving in that direction. Every year we see significant growth. In fact, nearly 25 million homeowners used our service over the last year to find somebody who's available and reliable to complete their projects.
So explain to us how you get yours. How do you get paid? Who pays you?
Yeah, our service professional network pays us. They pay a small annual fee to be listed in our directory, which is a very important element of the business because 9 out of 10 homeowners actually research online before hiring a pro. So even if they get a referral from somebody word of mouth or hear about a business through a billboard or whatever it might be, they still will do online research before making that hiring decision. And the biggest marketplace by far is HomeAdvisor. So having a presence within our directory, either on HomeAdvisor or Angie's List, is key to influencing those hiring decisions, be them offline or online, because they're going to go look to see if the pro has ratings and reviews, the quality of those reviews, and if they're good, the homeowner is far more likely to make that hiring decision against that business. And so it's critical to have that exposure online. And then in addition to the directory, service professionals pay us a fee for the connections that we make between homeowner and service professional. So if somebody uses our instant booking service, for example, you schedule and book a pro at a time that is convenient for the homeowner. Once that connection is made between the two, we charge a fee to that service professional. Doesn't mean it's a completed project or a win fee. It's an introductory fee, but it's a considered introduction through that experience that I described. So those are the two ways that we get paid. It's free to the homeowner.
So how is there anything that you guys do to investigate the people who are on your website, who have listings on your website?
Yeah, we do a thorough background check at the point of sale. So as you join as a member of HomeAdvisor or Angie's List, we have the most comprehensive background check in the industry. It's very complicated. Each state, each municipality has its own nuance. And so we've really refined that over time and have a great screening process up front. And then what I think is more important ultimately is the rating and review feedback we get from our homeowner community. And that enables us to, for example, if somebody receives a couple bad ratings, we can investigate and research that pro to see what's going on. Oftentimes, it's just a misalignment of homeowner expectations, and that's okay. But at other times, we'll identify a bad actor in the network, and we'll act accordingly when that occurs. So it's a really powerful feedback loop to understand who's doing a great job and who might not be. And we can maintain the integrity of the network by having that continual feedback loop.
Craig, what's the difference between HomeAdvisor, Angie's List, and Handy?
Yeah, they're all really efficient and effective ways to find a reliable service professional. The experience is slightly different across each. HomeAdvisor focuses more on that connection that I was describing previously. You describe your project, and we'll find somebody available to do the work. With Handy, it's a fixed price, and you can schedule and book and purchase that service all online. With HomeAdvisor, you're actually transacting directly with the pro. With Handy, you're purchasing the service up front and online. And then with Angie's List, it's more of a directory experience. It's more of a listing experience where you're able to, as a homeowner, review the list, choose who you want to work with, and call or contact them through the various contact methods that are provided within the directory.
Craig, your category has grown exponentially in the last decade, and I think probably significantly in the last 5 years. I remember when no one knew what VRBO was 15 years ago, which was a vacation rental by owner, and now it's affectionately referred to as Verbo, and you see commercials in Super Bowl. It's become the go-to for people looking for vacation rentals in addition to Airbnb. So there is significant growth in these categories. To what do you attribute that tremendous growth, and how has HomeAdvisor, picking that of the three brands, become really the leader in the category?
Yeah, I think there are a few factors that are contributing to that. We have really helped create awareness of the category and the potential of utilizing a marketplace like ours, the value that we can provide to those connections for both homeowners and service professionals. Through really aggressive advertising, we've spent a tremendous amount of money on TV and on digital advertising to create awareness of that. And so, homeowners first need to understand that this type of service exists like it does within real estate or lending or all these other categories that were earlier adopters of online marketplaces. So through that advertising, more homeowners are now aware of the category. I think another factor is services like Uber and Handy has really, I think, played a significant role in this, as well as OpenTable and others, as you realize, hey, I can book a restaurant, or I can hail a cab or an Uber through this really simple, elegant, on-demand app. People begin to wonder, can I also do that for home improvement if I want to schedule and book an estimate with a remodeler, or schedule to have somebody come out and clean my gutters? And services like ours exist, and they're able to find that experience through HomeAdvisor, Handy, and Angie's List. So there's some of that as well. And then, we've seen millennials are starting to move into the market now more than ever, and that is their expectation. And so as more and more millennials become homeowners or are doing things around their home, they are expecting on-demand services like we provide, and that's the first place they churn. The older generation of homeowners was more inclined to say hello to their neighbor or look over the fence and say, who did that work for you? The younger millennial generation really isn't having those conversations, and they immediately turn to their iPhone or whatever their mobile device might be to find an app that can make that connection for them, and we are there. So those are the three primary trends that I think is really propelling what has been a tremendous shift in activity just in the last 5 years from offline to online marketplaces.
So what words of advice would you give to businesses looking to grow in the space?
Yeah, I think it's critical to have a presence online. 84% of people trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. Most homeowners won't hire somebody if they don't have an online presence, because they want to be able to do that research and see additional feedback and vet and verify that pro before they hire. So those reviews with a strong online presence is really important. If you are participating in a marketplace like ours, it's really important to be responsive. We're living in more of an instant gratification, quick response society. And so if somebody submits a service request at HomeAdvisor, they expect to hear back from somebody within 30 minutes, and the sooner the better. And so being very quick in your response is extraordinarily important. And if you can't do that, which is tough for some businesses because of driving from job to job, or you're on a work site, it's difficult to be responsive. It's worth having somebody that can be available to call quickly, have a professional interaction with that homeowner, and schedule and book an appointment. So having the infrastructure to support that, I think, is very, very important. And, be sure to follow up. If the first call is unsuccessful, it's worth being persistent with a couple calls. Homeowners will take that, and it's important to have that persistence. So those are the quick things that come to mind for me.
Okay, well, that says an awful lot. And I think that we see people trending toward more than one app these days. That's not to say that they don't make the buying decision on an app, singular, but, they search. And quite frankly, we do our own search now. We use the internet to search our prospective clients with regard to home values and location and, how long they've lived in the home. That's a two-way street, which has been quite helpful. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that you're most excited about in the home services industry these days, or what trends you're seeing in the industry that our pro audience should be aware of.
Well, I think the trend I think everybody is kind of painfully aware of to a degree is the skilled labor shortage. And, we've been working hard to help address that, both at a policy level, but also just creating better support and resource to bring more skilled labor into the marketplace, and really unskilled labor as well. We're working on a few strategic initiatives to help support our service professional community in finding reliable help, skilled and unskilled, because that's the biggest constraint to growth. And the biggest complaint that we hear from our pros is, we're loving the marketing, we're loving the return on investment that we're seeing with HomeAdvisor, but it's hard for me to scale because a lack of, skilled and unskilled labor to help support all these projects that I